Welcome to What the Shuck. The goal of the What the Shuck podcast is to provide a platform to people that have been influential to me or that may be influential to you. The next guest on my podcast is one of my oldest influences as far as for getting me into a creative space to make and be comfortable with just kind of being myself and pursuing things that a lot of other people didn't really have the willingness to do or the just belief within themselves. So my next guest is a gentleman from Prestonsburg, Kentucky. He went to Center College, and most of you all probably know him for being in Sundy Best, but he's been in other projects like Rosemont Garden, and tonight he'll actually be playing at the venue here in Moorhead, Kentucky as Kris Bentley and the Protectors, but also have some big events coming up later in this year, and honestly, just a guy that I really have been wanting to have on my podcast since I started it. We did an episode when we did the COVID episodes on Instagram, but we haven't been able to meet in person. And it's a guy that I had to get on the podcast in person just because the energy that this guy brings to the room and the love. And without further ado, my good friend, Mr. Kris Bentley. So thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
But dude, thanks for coming on. You have a big show tonight here in Moorhead, and it's a cool place that we're shooting at. We're here at Saltstone Brewing, and tonight you're actually going to also be shooting at a place I've never been to myself, but you speak highly of. So maybe talk a little bit about that, and then we'll talk a little bit about what got you to this point.
Cool. Yeah, so right now, as we're recording this, as you said, tonight I'll be playing at the venue in Moorhead, which is a newer venue for the area. For the region, for the state. It's an old movie theater. It was previously under the name Rock Tap House, but it feels brand new. Mm-hmm. So the building has been there a while, but the venue itself is a new thing. So I encourage everybody to get in there and see some great live music in a great atmosphere that's safe, and they take care of you. So happy to be in Moorhead. I've played lots of music in Moorhead over the years and spent a lot of time here. It feels like a second home to me. So yeah, another year, kind of another strap on the belt. This year, 2021 for me will make 10 years playing music at some capacity. Mm-hmm. Of course, I grew up playing music in church and at the house, so I've been doing it what feels like my whole life, mm-hmm. but the past 10 years have been at a different level, where it's taken me to, pursue it out of motivation and desire, and because it makes me happy. Mm-hmm. So being this year as like a commemorative type of year, and personally for me, it's like, man, it's like, okay, now I feel like I'm starting to discover more so what my sound is, mm-hmm. what my influences are, why I'm creating music that is the way that it is. And so it's exciting because it's like a rediscovery of myself, but it's like, wow, okay, so now I've got this new information, these new revelations of me, and my musical abilities and tastes. Where to from here, mm-hmm. And so yeah, everything feels brand new, and fittingly so. It's January of a brand new calendar year. So that's how I got here today, at this moment.
Well, dude, I mean, it's been super interesting to talk about your musical talents and where they reach back. I can remember being a little kid and being with my Aunt Nita, and her being like, we got to go pick up Christopher, Samuel, and Jesse at music lessons. And you all were like little kids then.
Piano lessons.
You all were a little bit older than me, but I was a little kid, and I was like, these kids are like, in their free time playing music. What nerds, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm over here like playing baseball and football, and you all did that too, but it was like, even when you all didn't have that free time, you all were doing something to like advance yourself, and to show the things that you love. And to see the range of your growth has been super interesting. And that's why I've always kept up with you, man. It's just like, I saw when you were in Crosswalk, and I saw when you were in Sunday Best the first time, and I saw when you all like moved from like the 2-set band to like a full band. And then I saw like when things like you all stopped playing together. And then I saw when you started doing Rosemont Garden, and then I see you do your solo stuff. And it's like the song that you actually released before we did our episode on the COVID was Keys to the City. And I love that song. I just think it shows how versatile you are as an artist and your influence and the things that you like. And to talk on that, you share a lot of basketball stuff. Yeah. So obviously basketball is pretty influential to you, but I think that you don't just share it because you're like, look at this basketball player. I feel like you see like more of a moment in it. So like you see their artistry, you see what they're doing. So do you think that basketball influences you when you play music?
Certainly. I think, basketball in particular, that was my sport of choice. I was fortunate enough to get to play it through high school. My senior year was able to play at Rep Arena in the Sweet 16.
Like every kid dreams of that.
Yeah, like that dream
Playing at Rupp.
It became a reality, and then I got to go play 4 years in college because of that. Mm-hmm. That game in the Sweet 16 kind of solidified me having a chance to play in college. That
a good school too.
Yeah,
you went to a great school because you had a skill that you were also, but you're a smart guy.
I can be.
I think we all can be, but I think
intelligent and smart, is that two different things?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm not smart or intelligent guy. So.
I didn't know educationally what I was getting into going to center. I was just excited to, I was going to get to keep playing basketball and keep getting better at it. Once I made that commitment, it was like, and I was practicing through the summers. Like basketball was just, that was my hang.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just me or with another, it was like, it was a form of meditation. I didn't know it at the time, but it was always there for me. And the good thing about basketball is anyone can play, and if there's a public park, go find a basketball goal and get you a ball. A lot of times the ball's laying there already, and you can shoot for free. You can do it for free. So
basketball is like literally one of the only sports you can just like shoot by yourself.
Yeah, it's healthy competition, I think, because you're competing as a team. You're a part of a whole. It can all be healthy. It just for me, my experiences with basketball as opposed to being a golfer or maybe a tennis player, kind of feeling like you're on an island a lot of the time. Basketball, you learn to work with others in a way that benefits the common goal. So, you can translate that into community or whatever. But in music, it's like that basketball sport drive that I think starts out as I want to beat you, I want to win. Mm-hmm. Over time in me, it is just I want to beat yesterday version of me. Mm-hmm. I want to be better. I want to play better. I want to create better. I want to. So now it's like it's not me versus anybody. It's me versus my former. It's like I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna do better. You just got to keep. So that mentality instilled through all those years of doing it. It's like, man, it becomes a part of everything.
So would you say that moments like sitting on like Rep Arena's court, having a big game, or going to college and being in a game arena, like a conference tournament or something, would you say those moments prepared you for when you're on the stage and when the lights are bright and a lot of people are like, oh crap, I'm kind of starstruck right now by my own like moment, but do you think those moments prepared you for that kind of stuff?
Certainly. And you try and be as present as you can be when it's happening, because you don't know if you'll ever get another opportunity like that. But to have that experience, it's like it you're changed from it. You know, I feel like we go through a lot of experiences, weekly, monthly, daily, yearly, whenever. I think it can be any time that we can be changed in a moment and in an experience. And it can be, you know, like when you ran and got in cave run and the ice cold polar plunge, like we were talking, you know, before we started, you said that you have felt different since. And man, I know that to be true as well. So I tell you what was a trip was having played basketball in Rep Arena, and then going back as Sunday best with Nick and doing a national anthem for a UK game in Rep Arena. And we eventually got to play a couple events in Rep Arena. Like, that was a trip. Because a lot. I'm still processing some of those things.
Well, I mean, so like the way that I look at that is like you go from, you were talking about how it is a team focus, but it's like when you're the one that's actually playing the music, and it's like literally every focus is on you and Nick sitting there.
It's like, you're glad you got one other with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The cats that go out there and do it, just them, man, I'm like, you got balls of steel.
Dude, especially you're going to get judged by the Kentucky fans.
Yeah,
There's nothing else going on.
But it's your state. It's your state, man. It's there's so many years and layers to it all, you know, to the bluegrass, to Appalachia, to this land. It's, you always want to do your best, you know. So,
and it's interesting because being from this area, we're pretty much told like, you need to go do these things, and that's how you're going to get to success. And I mean, luckily for you, I guess a lot of your influences, your dad was a musician, so you had someone being like, hey, like it's okay to kind of like go off the path a little bit and to find your own success and blaze your own trail. And I'm not saying I don't have great parents, but they were kind of, you know, play the safe game. And I wasn't about that. That's just not who I am as a person. Like, I had the jobs that I was sitting at a desk and I could make the money that I wanted to make, but I wasn't making the happiness that I wanted to make. And I get huge. I weigh 400 pounds and hate my life, and it's literally because I was selling my soul pretty much to go do that. So it's like so many people are experiencing that. And after my head injury, I got an opportunity to kind of like restart and get a new start and be like, all right, like this is cool. So literally even since that polar plunge, it was even like after that head injury, I super had an opportunity because I ended up having gastric sleeve, and I was like, I had a rebirth then. So April 3rd was like really is when I'm always like, I was like kind of reborn that day. And so that moment when I came out of the water, I was like, whoa, that was like another one of those moments. Like, because I ended up just going on a tear, just like doing stuff, helping people and doing stuff with my podcast and going out of like comfort zones that I've ever been, because I was like, dude, I will know when I was acting in comfort, like I still, even there's an opportunity to fail. So it's like, why not dive all the way head into stuff I care about, and gonna have to dig through some shit, but like you're gonna ultimately find out what your mission is and what you're here for. And it's like, that's a hell of a lot more rewarding than a desk job.
Man, I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate that. I'm proud of you too, dude. You've grown an exponential amount. Like, it's just,
man, we're here, so we need to grow.
Yeah.
We need to grow. Everything that brings life is constantly growing. It don't mean we can't prune. You know, cut some things back. You're right. So we're just always learning. I just try and learn every day. You know, you've got to do those things yourself, like you're talking about, like all the decisions, the hard decisions you've made. Me and my friend Jared were talking about this yesterday. To me, for me in my walk thus far, for me to experience what liberty is, like liberty, to me, is the ability to say no, to resist. It's, yeah, there's freedom in that, but liberty is like, I don't have to say yes to everything.
Mm-hmm. Dude, no,
so I can resist, and I'm finding that a lot of urges and old ways and habits begin to flee when you begin to resist. Mm-hmm. So you begin to step into your power, because we were created all equal and in the image of, with liberty and freedom, right? Mm-hmm. So that's when we become the version of ourselves that I believe we're destined to be. I believe that's who you're becoming. That's who I'm becoming. Yeah, we're doing it, and it's a lifelong journey, but mm-hmm. It's finding out what to say no to.
In that video that I was talking to you all about earlier, about existentialism with Nietzsche, this guy literally says one of the analogies, and I was like, that is the deepest thing I've ever heard. And he says, if a demon woke you up in the middle of the night and told you you're going to live this life forever, 100 billion times, over and over and over and over and over, are you cool with that? And he said, if it scares you, then you haven't found your reason for living. He said, if it doesn't, then you have. And I literally was like, holy shit. Like, I got goosebumps from that, because I was like, dude, I think I found my reason for living. Because, like, I'm not like, nope. Like, I want to keep doing this over and over and over and over. And I was like, dude, I started crying. I was literally like, whoa. I was like, that was a powerful analogy, because I was like, a demon. Like, that sounds horrible. But I was like, sometimes a demon might bring some good news and be like, bro. And he was like, if it holds you down and you can't say, like, that doesn't, like, I'm okay with that. And I was just like, wow, like, that was so powerful though.
Yes, we have to begin to know and apply that everything's here. Like, we can't run away. We can't keep trying to run away and the Lord's not going to come down here and pull us out. We're in here. We're here to endure till the end and run our race and find that fire and let it burn. Let it burn. Like,
not completely
because you got to serve something. We're all serving something, whether we know it or not. So align, and burn and live, and man, a good tree will bear good fruit. And sometimes I bear bad fruit, and I'm like, I don't want to do that no more. But it's like, it's that pruning. I cut a branch here, let's pull this back, and then so we just got to be able to flow with the changes at all times, and man, that's so powerful. That stuff is very powerful. Roll up your rapture rug, you wait to get raptured out of here. I think we've got a lot of work to do, and it's good work. It's fun work.
It is.
We're here for such good reasons, man. Like, it's the goodness of God that draws us near. It's His goodness. It's not Him saying you're wrong, you need to do better, I made you better than that, or slapping you. It's like, no, it's so good. It's so much better when you discover your purpose and know your identity. You know who you are, and you begin to believe it, and you apply it. So then it's not so much about everything you've learned in your life and everything that you've memorized, but you can begin to act and live as if you do know who you are, and you do know what you're capable of. We're here to all be here together.
That's another topic in that video. I'm telling you, you got to watch it. He was talking about how when you grow to what you're supposed to be, and he said it was like what you're talking about. He's like, the chains will fall off when you can make a decision in your life to where you feel no regret. And he's like, that is what freedom is like living without regret and being the truest form of yourself. And he's like, there are going to be people that essentially one of my friends and I were talking one day, and he was like, there are people that are on this journey that you will encounter that are not meant to be on there forever. You will take something from them that you will learn about yourself, and then they'll be gone. And he's like, and you can't dwell on that happening, and you can't like be sad about it. He's like, each moment that you get in life is energy, and it's up to you to choose if it's good or bad. And like you said, you just got to let it burn. You got to let that burn, and it's up to you if it burns the house down or if it burns energy that makes you be lifted to a new capacity of yourself or a new version of yourself. And so each moment like that, in a way, is kind of like an opportunity to be reborn. Each day we get a new opportunity at rebirth, and to be like, hey, like I messed up yesterday, but that's yesterday. Today is the day that I have action to take, and that's all that matters. And to live to learn with that has been extremely empowering for me. Like I'm getting to do fun stuff, and now people are like starting to be like, can you do an ad for us? And I'm like, on my podcast? Like Austin Shuck's podcast? Like the kid from Appalachia, West Liberty, Kentucky?
And you're literally like, what the shuck?
Yes, dude, seriously. And I'm like, but I've been speaking this, and dude, when I was overweight and all these things, the reason I was really punishing myself was because I knew back then I could have done this. I literally told friends when I worked at TQL, I was like, I'm gonna have a podcast. And I started working at ESPN Radio, and I literally probably could have had an incredible job. And I was like, I just don't, like, it's just not meant for me to be that person. Yeah, one day, exactly. And then when that head injury happened, dude, I literally was like, no, today's that day. And I've been living that ever since then. Like you said, sure, there are days when you're like, I don't want to go to the gym, or I don't want to work on my podcast. And I'm sure as a writer, you're like, or a musician, you're like, I don't want to write today. I don't want to play music.
A lot of times, man.
More times than not.
More often than not, honestly. Yeah. You mentioned basketball and how that's affected me. I'll go back to that for a moment. My college basketball coach, Greg Mason, who's still there at Center College, taught me so much about the game, but also about how to apply a lot of those things to life. And one of those quotes he would always say was, don't get too high, don't get too low. And if we can find the sweet spot and develop consistency in our lives and thrive, more power to you. More power to you. But the ups and the downs, it's like, God, you just get weighed down if you get real up and then you get real down.
Balance is the answer to life, though.
Oh, sure.
It truly is, but it's up to you to maintain the balance. Like if you're in politics and you want to be moderate. Find it for yourself. Find it for you. Yeah.
You know, like mine's different than yours.
There's no like size fits all solution for life. Literally, there's 8 billion people who live here. So guess how many solutions there are?
That's why
8 billion.
The solutions are found inside of you. Your solutions. You're the only one to find them, and you can't put a square in a circle.
But that's a status quo. That's easy for us to be like, here I am in this moment in life. I went to college or I went to trade school, and it's like, now decide for me, universe, what's going to happen. And it's like, how many people, literally, how many people and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. There are people who go on to find the cures to cancer that do stuff like that. And that's literally might be the path that they think they should be on, or that they've chose that they should be on. But it's like, how many people just go through life being like told what to do?
Well, it's easy.
I did that.
It's comfortable. And I could be wrong. Some instances, I think somewhere in the earth this ain't the case, but my experience, it's put on you. Like from the moment you come out of the womb, things are begun to be projected onto you, and layers, we got to just keep peeling them off. And last year, the year 2020, I knew it was going to be different. Of course every day is different, but going like 2019 was a difficult year for me. so I was looking at 2020, and it was like, okay, vision. I think everybody thought of that with the year 2020. It's like, okay, what does that mean to me? So I was just able to refocus and look at things differently, a new perspective, but all of a sudden, you know, society is flipped upside down. You know, the culture, the
dude, or was it?
everything.
Or were we given 2020 vision and we saw what it really was?
I think we're finding that out.
I think that we did get 2020 vision. And
What
we were
is
scared.
2020? Hindsight?
Yeah.
So now we're past it. We can look at it.
You're like, ugh.
See,
we're
it's
ugly.
it's important.
I was so ugly.
It's important to sit with it and be with it and observe it before you form any opinion on it, because then there's experience to back it up, right? For me, anyways. So
No,
so
totally.
now looking back, it was like I actually had a really good year in the midst of everything going on, because I found it was like, for instance, you know, I love the outdoors. Last year, I was more active in the outdoors than
Same.
I've been since I was a child.
Same. You were on that waterboard.
Dude,
thing
I got
all
that
the time.
paddleboard, man, through Canoe, Kentucky. It was a used paddleboard. It's the Soul Train
You used the crap out
out
of it.
of a company in Telluride. And man, because my brother and his family, they all do it, and I've done it, borrowed theirs. But I was like, I'm going to go buy one, and I'm going to use it as much as I can, and I did, man. And it was my sanctuary time. You know, my car is too, and really it could be anywhere you spend a majority of your time. But man, that was just like, for me, you enter in I think the true reality of our existence is out there,
You don't hear anything besides existence.
and it's there all the time.
I love.
It's there all the
like,
time, and we think we're so far from it. We feel separate, and we're not. We're not. So that was a lot of eye-opening, and like able to move on from a lot of past things that we're trying to
That water, though,
hang
cleaning
on.
you again, though, dude.
That's what we're talking. Like your polar plunge, it was like that every time. You know, of course, the lakes aren't that. In the summertime, feel pretty good. But,
Yeah.
And I discovered a lot of Kentucky state parks, and I really dove into exploring this state. We've got so much to offer just in the state of Kentucky. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, have you been to every county?
No, but the goal with the program this year is to do 120 families,
Go
one
to
from every county.
county, like,
So if we raise $60,000, I'm going to have to go to every county in Kentucky this year.
I've driven through every county in the state now.
You did that in 2020?
No, just over the past my life.
You kind of, the ones out
But
west were kind of like,
the
I can
ones.
go.
Yeah, no, I made the past couple years now. I've just, you know, it just makes me more familiar with where I live.
And you love
You know,
Kentucky.
Well, of course, I like to say I'm born, raised, and living. I've never lived out of the state, but I've traveled a lot. Even stuff that, like in Floyd County, it's like there's still land that I've not seen.
Morgan County is like one of the biggest counties. It's like 10th largest.
Pike County is the largest in the state,
Yeah.
and the second is Madison. But
Think
Morgan
about Pike
County,
County.
Morgan County's big.
It's huge, dude. It's like the 10th, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing in Pike County other than like mountains and coal mines and then Pikeville. But like there's literally nothing in West Liberty and then nothing.
Gosh.
It's like there's no mountains, it's just farmland and like
Elliott
rolling
County
hills.
too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, but it's not designated a forest. It's just the woods.
It's
We
just as
just got a
nice.
lot of woodland.
It's just as nice as Daniel Boone. It is the same stuff, literally.
And Kentucky's crazy. It's a so Kentucky means land of tomorrow, and I think we're in tomorrow. I think we made it.
It's pretty cool. I love Kentucky. I know that I've had friends that have come here from like up north or northeast, and they're like, whoa, like there's something cool going on here. And I'm like, yeah, like if we didn't essentially get like pillaged by our coal mines, like how much better would this even be? And it's like, maybe we don't have the resources and opportunities we have, but that's why I'm really excited about companies like App Harvest, because they're going to come here and like not essentially rape the land. They're going to actually like bless the land, and like we're going to use rainwater that's like recycled, and we're going to not use any chemicals. And, oh yeah, we're going to all grow it indoors, so we're not like screwing up the land other than this plot of land we actually have, but we're still growing stuff inside. And seeing people having that willingness to be like, I see a vision and potential in Kentucky. Yeah. Maybe they see that the land is of tomorrow.
Sure.
And just like New Frontier, like Sundy Best, like there are pioneers in this area that are doing things that are helping change people's lives. And what you all did with your project, like I said, inspired me to do the thing that we did with the Rockin' Around the Mountain thing. We ended up raising $7,000. Like,
how fast? Like, how
dude,
quick?
in 3 weeks. I literally just woke up after your all's event and was like, how do I help more? Like, what can I do to help more with the momentum of what they did? Like you said earlier, like, don't shrink now, like, keep growing. And that was powerful, dude. That's a powerful saying, is like to just keep riding that energy.
Now's not the time to shrink back. We
got this moment.
It's now's all we have.
Yeah. And I got to give a little bit of a plug right now to Sawstone. So we're here at Sawstone.
Yeah.
And right now we are having the Redemption Tropical Sour. It's the first of their bourbon barrel aged series. And if you like bourbon barrel aged beers and you like stouts, this is definitely going to be a really fun one. So it's got some really dark fruit. So kind of like fruit that you would expect around this time of year, like winter fruit, stuff like that. So it's going to be really stone fruit style stuff. And then it's going to showcase all the barrel characteristics that you would typically expect in a bourbon. And then it's got some vanilla and then also some tobacco. So if you all want to try this out, it's a very limited release. I will definitely be releasing a clip for this, so it might not be around when I release this, but I'm hoping to post that tomorrow. But come get it while you can. If not, it was really good. I'm sorry that you didn't get to taste it, but I'm really excited about this, and sorry to interrupt, but set that back right there. But so the show tonight, talk to us a little bit about what's going to be happening there. So we've been talking a lot about the past, but we also know that we've been talking about how important it is to live in the present. So tell me a little bit about some stuff you're going to be playing tonight and about the band that you're going to be actually bringing for the first time tonight. So Kris Bentley and the Protectors. So talk a little bit about that.
Cool. So I've written quite a bit new material over the past year and a half, last year in particular, and a lot of the songs were kind of Motown influenced.
Mm-hmm. That's exciting.
Yeah, so that's just always been. I've just always came back around to Motown, that style of music, just R&B, early rock and roll, blues influence,
just funky stuff.
Yeah, just feel good, and it's just always been a big influence on me. And my dad and I got to visit the Motown Museum in Detroit last year, and got to go in like Studio A and just see where the Temptations would do some of their choreography, their dancing, and where Marvin Gaye did What's Going On. Like it was birthed out of a real familial environment. Barry Gordon, he and his family moved into the apartment up above Studio A, and it was their house, but it was also Hitsville, USA. So Motown, I think, and recently in the past few years, I was re-inspired by St. Paul and the Broken Bones. I think their sound's incredible. I really love the first record they did, Half the City, and so this band, the Protectors, we actually, they played with me last year, but we only got to do one show. But we were a garage band. Like, there were nights we'd practice last summer and we were all dripping sweat head to toe. It's so hot and humid, but man, we were just
ready to roll.
It was just like, man, just nostalgia, tap back into like that high school, just why we do things we enjoy doing in the first place, sort of thing. So
you would
so
say
this is
tapped into like a really raw element of your musician, like
your
artistry.
And for me, it's like I can bring the songs to them because I fully trust them to give and produce that sound that I hear in my head, like a little bit of Motown, a little bit of early Chuck Berry rock and roll, but with a little West Coast Pearl Jam dabbled in there, so my mom grew up, she's born in the state of Washington on the West Coast, and my dad's born in Kentucky but grew up in southern Michigan around Bob Seger country, so my influences are all over the place.
Who all's in this band?
So Jake Ratliff on the drums, Timmy Tackett on bass, Kevin Harmon on guitar, and Mark Cheney on guitar.
I do know Mark. That's the only person who I think.
So Mark and Jake have a band called Mirrored Image.
And
they're killer,
groovy.
dude. They're killer.
They are groovy.
Yep.
Okay, I'm excited about this.
Not
that I wasn't.
Man, it's high energy. The songs are fun and mostly upbeat.
That's awesome. I'm super excited about this.
So it's a real honest interpretation of me musically, and that's something I feel really comfortable in, and I feel finally, for like probably the first time, content with my outlets and where I'm plugged into, and I feel like I'm not lacking, and I'm able to to have that little variety, but it's like three tends to be a number to me that always presents itself in one way or another. So if I've got three solid things that I can give myself to, I seem to do pretty good.
Dale Earnhardt, raise hell, praise Dale. Right. That's the formula. Honestly, dude, I can just tell like that I can tell that you're really just in like a flow right now. Like your energy is great. Like I can just see that you're like, I'm ready to kick ass and like help people. And I think when I watched that show at Dewey Lake, what's the lodge, but what's the actual name of it?
That room we were in?
Yeah.
The Goldenrod room?
The Goldenrod room. Like I was just like, whoa, like I can feel this. Like this is monumental.
And man, the Sundy Best it's brand new.
Yeah.
So it's
2.0.
Like, it's so exciting, and it's.
I guess it's technically like 3.0.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of like,
who knows at this point? But I'm excited to like just kind of flow in that with it, instead of trying to control it or make it be this thing that we think it might need to be. It's like, no, we're like, man, what a beautiful opportunity to have to be able to use this platform the right way. And it's like, all right, let's see what happens. And I've kind of adapted that into various areas of my life, letting them happen instead of making them happen. I think it's important to take action and initiative, but the monumental things, I believe, are already set in stone to happen for us. We just got to get there and walk through it. But it's the little things we got to keep taking action on. And my change recently, and if heard and received the right way, take it for yourself. But I want to play offense instead of defense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to play defense anymore. So I want to know what offensive moves to make and make them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, play offense in this life. Like, you know what makes you happy and makes you go, and it's like, man, keep scoring.
And I think
keep making buckets. It's like
we touched on that. It was just like that's almost like what we're told to do here, though, in this area. Like that's like expected of us to play defense. Just be like, just do what you can to get by, and you're not going to score any baskets.
Everything's depending on what's going around you.
Yeah.
Right. It's like if your circumstance or situation determines how you're doing. I've said that. I sometimes forget it myself a lot, but it's like I have to remind myself, like, I can't just be dependent all the time on what's going on around me. Like at some point I have to find a way to be good in the midst of what may seem like chaos, because man, if you just go with what's going on around you, that's how you get those ups and big lows we were talking about.
You got to decide.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So you have a few projects coming up. You have a concert that's going to be at Archer Park the 30th of April, the 1st and 2nd, I think.
Of May.
Of May.
The Kinfolk reunion.
That is exciting. I'm super excited about that. So you all are working on some music. Are you all working on new music for that, or?
Yeah, new music in general.
Okay.
We're going to do a record.
That's awesome. That's great news.
Yeah, we'll be continuing to get together and work that stuff out, and it's already in the process. I'm super excited because I think you all both, by going out and doing your own thing, have grown so much as artists. And so there's just so many skills that I've seen by you all doing your own thing that I think when you all get back together and are doing it and it's rolling, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I'm super excited about that, man. I've been a big Sundy best. I've been a huge Kris Bentley guy since day one. So it's been a blessing and an honor to see your journey and what you've done. And constantly, like I said, you're always inspiring me to move towards a better version of myself. And like you said, like there's times when we all struggle and we all have downs, but like the fact that you've made it through that stuff, like that's what constantly inspires me to get through tough times. So I appreciate you, man, and thanks for coming on. Dude, it's a blast. Thank you in many ways for just being who you are now. Like, you're such a light, you're packing such a light, you're making such a difference, and it continues to add fuel to your fire, which tells me that you're doing the right things and you're doing things the right way, because your fire isn't diminishing, it's burning brighter. So
I'm waving that fucking fan.
Dude, wave it, bro. It's like, fan the flame.
Yeah.
Like, now's not the time to extinguish fires, bro. Now ain't the time. It's like,
my fire can extinguish when I'm dead.
hey, and it's winter, it's cold.
Yeah, I'm not. So where can everyone find you, man, as far as on social media and,
Cool.
and your music?
Yeah, so I do have a website. It's ChristopherBentley.com. It's not really the best way to keep up with me, but it's there for more of a, if you just want to be familiar with some things that I'm involved in, that's a good way to see it all. But Instagram is probably my favorite app. I got my Facebook pages, my personal page, and then follow and like the Sundy Best page, Rosemont Garden. But yeah, Instagram, that's kind of like, I'm pretty much on there daily, at least with my stories.
What is your Instagram?
Christopher Lee Bentley.
Okay.
That's my full name. And that's Kristoferlee Bentley, like the car. So, pretty easily reached, but I don't respond to nonsense.
No nonsense. Well, dude, like I said, thanks so much for coming on again. this has been coming for so long, and I just appreciate you having the patience
Cheers.
to. There's nothing in here.
You want some?
No, I'm good.
You can't do that.
Sure. Yeah, we can't not. Cheers.
All right.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
And if you're watching this, cheers
Salud.
to you all. And I'm excited about the show tonight, but live the dream. And most importantly, share this happiness, share this magic that we're trying to create.
Yeah.
You can make this shit happen too,
Yeah.
but you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You got to make it happen. But we're down to help it make it happen. So love you all. Have a great day.
Peace.